We live in a twilight world. Let's watch a quick video.
The day that the British Army's Special Air Service, the SAS, came into public knowledge. May 5th, 1980, the day they stormed the Iranian embassy in London, ending a 6-day siege. Watched around the world, these pictures have become synonymous with the regiment, until then widely unknown. Operation Nimrod aimed at freeing 26 hostages, given the go-ahead by the Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, after one of their number, a press officer, was killed. An 8-man team entered the building, which had been secretly bugged during the siege. Army aircraft flying low over the Knightsbridge Street to drown out the sounds of their preparations. One hostage killed during the assault. Only one of the 6 hostage takers survived. The Iranian terrorists were seeking the release of prisoners in their home country. One of their hostages, PC Trevor Locke, said there was an air of death in the embassy prior to the SAS intervention.
Hostage PC Trevor Locke appears at a window, waving his police hat as identification. Police shout at him, "Take cover."
The intensely private police officer awarded the George Medal after he subdued the terrorist leader during the rescue mission.
Another time maybe, but not now. We've got to go.
Now speaking out about his ordeal, the retired officer has spoken about the chaos, gunfire and the bloodshed. 6 days which he says still haunt him. Grateful that he is now able to look back after 30 years.
So there we go. The event they call the Iranian Embassy Siege. It's got a few other names. I think the film version was called 6 Days. And yeah, man, look, there's loads of books, documentaries, and movies all pushing this event as real. But I'm going to ask the simple question, was this an illusion operation? Yeah? Was it an illusion? Was it a hoax? Is a question I'm going to be asking today, you know. I'm going to keep this video nice and quick. Doesn't need to be too long. But yeah, I'm sure you all remember this event. I'm sure you've seen it at some point in your life. Not that long ago was the 44th anniversary of this event. Yeah. So it's all over social media. It's all over the what had been brought back into the collective consciousness. Yeah. And I don't know, man. There's a few things to consider here. I mean, look, as you just heard in that quick little video, yeah, this was like the first time the famous SAS, probably the world's most famous special forces organization, came out from the shadows. And I think this was done strategically. You know, as I always say, the purpose of the illusion is to manifest a real reaction and response, and I'll get to that at the end. But yeah, man, I'm sure you all remember this. You know, very theatrical, and of course, world stage news, world stage theatre. This was everywhere. So here's some more pictures. You know, black-clad SAS operatives abseiling down the building. You know, they're throwing their Thunder Flash grenades or whatever, stun grenades in the building. And yeah, man, very theatrical. Apparently they got all of the hostage takers. And only one out of the 26 hostages was killed. Which is, you know, considered an amazing success, right? And it's called Operation Nimrod. I mean, that in itself, Nimrod. I mean, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but even just that name. Like I said, yeah, very theatrical. Big, massive explosions. And, of course, black-clad operatives abseiling down the building. All in front of the world's paparazzi media. Yeah. So, you know, the whole world got to see this. Here's some more photos. You know, this costume right here, obviously very kind of, Iconic, yeah? The gas masks and so on. Did they really need gas masks? Was that really necessary? Now, here's a good picture. This is the picture I want to get to. Now, look at this. Is this not a theatre stage in its layout? Now, you've got to remember, all of the world's paparazzi media were around this street from every angle. From the top of the street to the bottom of the street, all around, even in buildings and stuff. So if you go online right now and check out some of the videos, you'll see it's been caught from every angle. Very much like how you've got a stage, a theatre stage, and the circle seating going around. So the audience can see, right? So obviously we're seeing this through the eyes of the paparazzi media who were there. But they were essentially gathered around this here in a circle as if this was the main stage. And you could call this like a Romeo and Juliet balcony kind of thing, right? It's all up here, okay? They abseiled down theatrically. They threw the grenades in, blew out the windows theatrically. Then they went inside the building, and that's it. We never ever got to see what happened inside that building. Yeah? Yes, there's lots of pops and bangs and taps and clicks. You know, the noise of shooting and firing and grenades going off were happening. Yeah, everyone heard it, but no one saw it. For all we know, they could have went in that building and that could have been pure, blank firing, blank rounds. That could have been just nothing but 26 actors playing the role of hostages, and 6 guys playing the role of hostage takers. We don't know. It all happened inside. But people got to see the theatricality of the abseiling down the building of these black-clad special forces SAS operators, the smoke coming out. And of course, one by one, hostages were coming out of the balcony, running over to the police that were in the, the next building along. And they were like kind of climbing over here, all for the audience to witness. Very theatrical, yeah? Here's another picture. Yeah, man, you get what I'm saying about the balcony, the theatrical balcony where all of this took place. Yeah? It's a stage. This is a stage, in my opinion. In my opinion. I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't want to specifically say this is a hoax or an illusion operation. I'm only speculating. But in my opinion, this ticks all of the boxes of an illusion op. And this was back in the Margaret Thatcher days. And allegedly, Margaret Thatcher is the one that gave the SAS the green light to go ahead and do what it had to do, yeah? You know, the first 5 days were negotiations, and once they realised negotiations weren't going to happen, she gave the green light to the SAS to go in and do what it had to do. Now, they'd obviously been training for this from day one, allegedly, yeah? And, yeah, she gave them the green light. So, what I was talking about, the purpose of the illusion is to manifest a real response. Allegedly, the next day, or the following week or weeks, applications within the military, within the British military to join the SAS went through the roof. So, even just that alone, the fact that the SAS now had applications and people wanted to join up, numbers went through the roof, all because of this. Another thing that happened was all the militaries around the world got in contact with the British military because they wanted their special forces to be like this. The Saudis, Jordan, Oman, the Americans, the Israelis, the Polish, all of them wanted this. This is what they wanted their special forces to look like. And you can see that to this day, every special forces unit is modelled on the British SAS. Now, obviously, that's one of Britain's main incomes, is that they train all of the other militaries. Pretty much every military is based upon the British military, and obviously, like we just said, their special forces is based on the British special forces, and that's big business for the UK. Yeah, the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, where all the officers go and get trained. A large percentage of the people that go through there are from people around the world. Saudi royal families send all of their children over there to get trained and so on. There's lots of Israelis over there, you know. Lots of Americans over there. This is the place to go and train your generals and commanders and so on. Yeah, over at Sandhurst. So this alone, right? This alone, regards to world stage theatre and manipulating and engineering the world, it worked wonders. If it was a hoax, it done wonders in marketing, yeah, business. And once again, as I keep pointing out, the hidden hand operates through the British military, who are pretty much like, how do I want to say it? The ones that are training all of the other militaries. Yeah. Now, of course, we go back to World War II. The whole of America, the whole of the American military, under the guise of World War II, was trained up by the British. That was one of the main objectives of World War II, was to overtly bring America back into the British Empire, train up their troops, you know, their navy, their air force up to the British standard, and then palm off what the British Empire had to deal with onto the Americans in regard to looking after bases, taking part in major wars that are meant to be lost. Yeah, they now do that, and it meant that the British military could go into more of a espionage and intelligence role, and like I just said, having a role in training all of the other militaries, running NATO, you know, they've got loads of, what do you want to call it? You know, intelligence exchange programs with Russia since the end of the Cold War. So, you know, this is how the sneaky British Empire does it now. You know, many people think the British Empire died in World War II. No, it just went into what we call ghost mode. Yeah, the ghost empire that pretty much doesn't exist. Like you ask the average person out on the street, what do you think of the British military? And obviously they're going to base it upon what they read right now. I'm talking about now in this day and age, on what they see on YouTube, which is nothing but propaganda saying that the British military is a joke and a shadow of its former self, which is somewhat true. That's the regular military that, you know, you and me could go and join. But they have the biggest, most lethal intelligence and espionage network that runs across the whole world. But anyway, back to this Iranian embassy siege. Yeah, man, look at it. This is a stage, is it not? And all we got to see was the abseiling down the walls, these guys in their black-clad costumes, the blowing out of the window, all theatrical. We have no idea what happened inside, and it had huge success in, you know, in the empire getting their claws into every other military via them calling the British and saying, yeah, man, we want you to come and train our troops. We want what you got. We want our special forces to look like your special forces. And no doubt that would have meant the MI6 and the SAS would have set up training centres all across the world after this here event. Or it would have meant that a lot of the, you know, special forces and intelligence services would have come over here where they'd been put through some sort of training program. But yet again, it's, you know, like what they say in the corporation world, in the corporate world, networking. It's all about networking. We live in a twilight world. There are no friends at dusk.